Welcome to How to Drop Your Friends, the call-in advice podcast for cyclists.
What do you do when your friend that you introduce into cycling starts beating your times?
Zip should be making oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yeah.
I get all resentful and angry, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to stop waving, so I don't wave anymore.
I feel that.
Today I'm joined by the entire family. We've got both of our dogs, my beautiful wife, Val. I was generous.
I raw dogged snorkeling.
You did raw dog snorkeling.
and it was hard.
And I asked her to decide which dog should live and which should... We also talk about cycling. What it's like to be a new rider, how to film yourself on the bike if you actually don't want to see your bike, and whether or not bubble wrap is a good protection on the bike. Let's get into it. Don't worry, the dogs do not bark in this episode.
Okay, I'm going to take these off for now.
Okay, that's fine. Valerie, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
So originally, this week's episode was going to be with Phil Guyman. We were in Hawaii with Phil and his wife, Emily. Phil and I rode up Haleakala. One of us rode up a lot faster than the other one. And we'll save that for his video, no spoilers. And then afterwards, I have an infected spider bite that decided to erupt. And... basically threw off production for the rest of the time. So we're going to record that podcast a little bit later, but his episode should be coming out pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. And right now you get the special treat of Val. How nervous are you right now?
I'm not nervous. I just don't ever want to watch it back.
So let's start out with a question. We can talk about something embarrassing, I guess, for me. What was your first thought when you saw me in Lycra?
I thought it was cute.
Really?
I liked it.
What'd you like about it?
I liked that you found something that you enjoyed doing and you went all in. I think your first few rides with a giant bike was basketball shorts and a t-shirt and sneakers. And then you really went all in and got the whole little outfit. And it was cute. My dad cycled when I was little in the whole outfit. So
gotcha.
Yeah, it's cute.
So some daddy issues helped me look good. I forgot you are the one that kind of encouraged me to get the first proper kit. You took me down to Rafa.
Oh yes.
In Santa Monica.
I forgot that. Try to look profesh.
Yeah. You're always on this journey of trying to make me look good in the clothes that I wear. Yeah. Because if it was up to me, I'd wear this today.
I'm his personal shopper.
You are. So anytime I look okay in my clothes, it's because of you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So I rode for, a year and a half. And then at some point you're like, okay, I'm going to get a bike.
Yes.
Why? What was the decision behind that?
I think it might have been COVID and there was not a lot to do. I just happened to look at the used bike market and there was this cute pink Cannondale in Burbank. So then I was like, oh, let's go look at it. I don't think I really thought I would buy it that day or that I was going to really go all in. I think we also had a Peloton.
Oh, I forgot about that. So much has happened.
Yeah. And we were getting ready for our wedding. So I was like, oh, I'll work out, with you outside, not just on the Peloton. Mm-hmm. We went and it was cute and I bought it. New guest. This is Vivian.
Vivian, say hi. We're going to make this an entire family episode. So I've got Remy here. You've got Vivian. Vivian's the OG. Vivian's 14 years old. This guy, Remy, is a year and a half. And he's the one that you've been hearing bark in these episodes. You're never going to bark again, are you?
What a cutie.
Little doggy break. Okay, so.
I got the bike.
You got the bike.
I got the bike. The first day I got the bike, I think it was right after. You were like, let's go on a ride to Griffith. And I was like, okay. And then I think we took the bike in the car, but we did so much riding that first day. I don't know how many miles. It's probably on the Strava somewhere. But you really
I pushed you too hard.
You pushed
you
too hard.
way too hard that first day.
And I was sore, my butt hurt. I was like, I hate this. Because I had zero practice. I only had Peloton. But I remember you just going really far and I was like, what are we doing? You're off.
Yeah, I definitely overestimated it because
oh yeah, we didn't take it in the car. We took
oh no, that was the last bike.
The bike path.
You had for a moment you had a little hybrid bike. Remember the one from REI?
Yeah, I barely rode that.
And when we were riding, so you were on a hybrid bike, we're going down the bike path, flat bar, not very good tires, a lot of wind resistance. And I was just kind of falling behind you to see like what you would do. And I looked down, and on this hybrid bike, on your first ride on it, we're doing like 15, almost 16 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think it was flat though. It
Yeah,
was
but
the
still,
bike path. Yeah.
on a hybrid bike, your first ride, you were cruising, and I was like, we can slow down if you want to. And you're just like, no, this is fine. This is easy.
Yeah.
So when you got the proper road bike, that's what was in my mind. I was like, well, Val is super strong, so we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about the endurance aspect of it.
Right. The going up and down, and like also being next to cars. Like I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But it is a very cute bike. You can put it up in the, put a picture up later.
What was that your entire purchase decision? Was how it looked?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
I think even before we bought the bike, I was like, what bar tape am I going to buy? And I think it was like, first, remember we had like a cute, like blue terrazzo
Oh, yeah.
one
Yeah.
that matched the little
The bottle
water
cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water bottle thing. And now it's white, and we have a bell.
We do have a bell. That was very important to you to get a bell.
Yeah. And now I barely ride the bike again,
We had that bad experience.
which is a whole other story.
Before that bad experience, you had like a big win because you worked your way all the way up to riding up to the observatory,
Yes.
which was a really big thing. We listened to like armchair expert Dax Shepard talked about, like he got a road bike, he rode up to the observatory, and it was like this huge accomplishment for him. And you did way before he did.
I did. It was cool. I only did it once. So I'm like, that might have been a fluke. I don't know.
It wasn't a fluke. You were good. We did Chevy Chase, which is another
yeah.
local climb over here. You liked the downhill bit a lot more than going uphill. And then you rode up to the observatory, no sweat. You killed it.
Thank you.
And then I scared you by having you go across the most dangerous intersection of all of Los Angeles.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is I should have put the bike rack on the car sooner.
Yes.
Because now it's been how long since you've ridden?
Like a year,
Yeah,
probably.
that's my bad.
Yeah. It's okay. We
Yeah.
should get one though. I'm going to try to get into it this year. If I'm talking to the camera, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to get into it for weight loss purposes and to see cute things.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about riding is seeing like the scenery.
Yeah.
So in Hawaii this last week, we got to go up to the top of Haleakala. And I'm used to these, like cycling in these incredible places. Haleakala, you start at sea level. It's in Maui. You ride up to 10,000 feet, which is what, like 3,300 meters. And you go through all these different climate zones. So it's like the rest of the island down at the bottom. And then you go from kind of like a tropical climate to more of like a deciduous forest kind of climate. And then eventually you're above the tree line and above the clouds. I've been there. I've been in Bolivia. I've like cycled through the Alps, and I just kind of take for granted like how beautiful it is sometimes. And you were so excited about being above the clouds.
Yeah.
It was really fun to watch like through your eyes, because also like I grew up skiing, and so a lot of times in skiing you ride the lift up, you're above, but you'd never experienced that before. You're from Miami, sea level, beautiful place in lots of other ways.
The whole drive was amazing. The temperature would change a lot, and the climate would change. It would be like it's dark and stormy, and then it would be like really pretty. Like the clouds would break and there'd be sun. I saw an owl.
You were so excited about the
Like
owl.
a big guy. Like a big speckly guy. It was just awesome at the end to like go up and hang out. I would love to do more of that, especially in LA. Because all I've really done is like Griffith and like Runyon Canyon. I haven't seen anything else in terms of like mountain summit.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Like our experiences of LA have been very different.
Yeah.
Because you work on set as a food stylist. So you're doing like the classic LA production thing. You're always on set. You have a call time. You're working with celebrities.
Yes.
And all of this like fun stuff. And then meanwhile, like I'm up in the mountains.
Yeah,
It feels
which
like I'm
is,
not
like,
even in LA.
It's very cool that we have that opportunity, and I haven't taken advantage of it, I think, yet. So this year I want to do that.
And that's why I got you on the podcast. We've got concrete proof, and you're my witness.
No.
Well, you already know the format of the podcast, so let's jump into a call. If you're new watching or listening to this, what happens is you call in, you ask a question about cycling, and each week an expert guest and I answer your question today's expert, Val, is probably most qualified.
I'm not an expert.
You're actually really qualified, though, because you're always, it's funny, you're like my wife and my Instagram husband at the same time.
Yeah.
Which everybody watching this episode on YouTube, I'm sure, is very confused on why I'm the one in front of the camera.
No.
And you're behind it, because it's very, very backward. All right, let's check out the first.
Okay, so I should put this on?
Yeah, put your headphones on so we can listen.
Hi, my name's Marianne Borowski, and I'll try to be quick. I just want to know about riding your bicycle, or rather even an e-bike, but with a GoPro, and how to do it very steadily, because I'd like to ride to shoot a music video. Mm-hmm. And I love your channel, actually, and the whole Road Cycling Academy video that you did when you got into cycling. And I'm still, ever a beginner, so that's kind of where I'm at. I love that early stuff, and I don't like anyone who becomes an expert. Can I mount an iPhone, 14 Pro Max or whatever, on a bike and shoot reasonably good video? Or what is the least expensive but highest quality video I can shoot on a bike?
You just did this all week with Emily, filming Phil and I as we rode up. You're a pro.
I did.
Let's answer Marianne's question.
Although she's
filming a music video.
But by herself, I think.
Oh, you think we'll find out. Let's get some more info.
Hello.
Hi, is this Marianne?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Marianne. This is Mitch from the How to Drop Your Friends podcast. We're calling you back about your question for filming a music video on a bike.
Hey, Mitch. Thanks.
Thanks so much for calling in. I'm here with Val. She's actually my wife, and she is my Instagram husband as well. So she has a lot of experience filming stuff. So she's the guest this week. We're gonna answer your question, but we'd love to get a little more information first on this music video you're shooting.
Sure. I'm going to be going to the Highlands, California area to hear Diana Ross sing at the Navarro Resort on February 14th. Yeah, and I've been thinking about that song Love Child, which really inspired me. I mean, it's just a great song. And I'm a singer-songwriter, but I've graduated from Berklee College of Music a couple years ago. But since then, I've just been working in a non-music related field. And I was talking to someone who's still working in the music field, and she was telling me about this work she's doing, and it got me inspired. I decided I was going to plan this trip, and I used to live in the Redlands, Mentone area, and it's just gorgeous there. I had written a song about the place where I lived, in the house I lived in, the person I lived with back then. And so I wanted to take my e-bike, which I just got a few months ago, and either my iPhone or get a GoPro camera and ride around the area and film it. I'm hoping the weather will be good.
Yeah.
And make a music video with the footage that I take that will go with this song that I wrote in the area, or even put it to something new.
Oh, that's great. Well, congrats on the new bike. Congrats on graduating. You got a lot going on.
No, I tried it. The issue is still doing something with music. I mean, that's what my passion.
Yeah, I get it. This whole YouTube channel of mine is it's a full-time job, part-time pay is what I say. I'm still kind of building it up. So I get it. It's hard to mix your passion and income a lot of times.
That's right.
So, okay. So you asked about with the iPhone, maybe with the GoPro, attaching the iPhone to the handlebars. I don't know what it's like for the latest versions, but I was always warned with the earlier versions that the vibrations on the handlebar could actually mess with the lenses in the cameras on the iPhones.
Oh, really? Permanently?
Yes. Now this is the earlier ones. I haven't done any research to see if with the iPhone 13 and 14, 15, and I don't even know if there's a 16 out right now. Yeah. That may have changed. They do have an action mode. So that may be different right now. There's a setting that you can do inside of when you're recording a video. There's a little it looks like a little person running up in the top right corner, and if you hit that, it turns it into increased stabilization, and that does action mode. I use that maybe in the least safe way possible. I use that riding with one hand on the handlebar and the other hand holding the phone. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for.
I've been thinking that your videos look like you might be unsafe. I was hoping somebody was riding behind you or something, just to make sure you're safe from traffic.
Hi, I'm the wife. We do try to do that, and that was the other suggestion.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about how the unsafe riding makes you feel.
Yeah, I don't like that part. But it is nice if you have someone that can go with you. I would definitely do GoPro on your bike, and then iPhone next to you if there's somebody that's willing to, record from a car just to be safe.
Yeah. Do you want shots of you on the bike, or are you just getting shots?
I was not thinking of that. I'll probably just do shots from the bike, handlebars and or chassis and whatever. But I don't really want shots of the bike. I didn't really want the bike in it, but I might as well. Oh, and I also got the adhesive thing for my helmet, so I could put the GoPro there.
That actually makes it a little easier. Yeah, and if you have a GoPro, that's probably like the easiest setup, and it works really well, especially if you don't want to see the bike. If you do want to see the handlebars, it's a different thing, and we can get into that. But if you put the adhesives on top of, like just behind, like where your hairline would be, but on the helmet, if that makes sense. Put the adhesive on there, and then the GoPro pointing just down a little bit, and you'll actually shoot right above the handlebars, which for me was always a frustration because I wanted to show the handlebars that I'm like on the bike, since my channel is about riding a bike. But if you don't want the bike in the shot, that's actually a really good option. And you get the bonus of like your head acts as an additional stabilizer. So that will make the footage really, really stable. The only disadvantage is that you're up, it makes you look like you're up pretty high. So depending on like the vibe you're going for the music video, that could work. The other option,
I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say the other option, I think you already mentioned it, is like getting like a chest strap for the GoPro. And that works really well too. What GoPro do you have?
Oh, I just got it, and I got it at Best Buy, so it's got the new one. It's a 13 Hero 13. I haven't even opened it yet.
Oh, okay. Great. The stabilization on that is really, really solid. So you could, if you got a handlebar mount, you could just stick that on the handlebars and then point it forward, and then, you won't see the bike or anything. And then you'll get, like a super smooth shot. I'm curious, what kind of e-bike did you get?
Oh, I'm a trek rider, actually.
Okay, nice.
I wanted a mountain bike as well as be able to do a commuter thing with it. It's gorgeous. It's like purple.
Oh, nice. Love a purple bike. I had one for a second, then I had to send it back to the brand.
Which one was it? Was that you had a gravel bike? Because actually I've been watching your videos.
Yeah.
And Val, you were not into biking. I remember, because I've watched you since you started the whole thing about when you how to become an above average cyclist. Not that I've become an above average cyclist, but I still watch your videos.
Thanks. And I don't think I'm actually an above average cyclist either. It's when I ride with people, I'm like, oh no.
Well, because you always go out with these really high achiever type race people.
Yeah, it's very true.
Like, that's not going to make you feel good. It's like, I can't go out with the group that rides at like 17 miles an hour minimum. It's like, sorry, that's why I got the e-bike.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Tell me, what is Val using? She does your video editing?
No.
She'll help with the shooting. So we were just talking about this on the podcast, but we were just in Hawaii with Phil Guyman and his wife, Emily. Speaking of riding with people that are a lot faster than me. Phil, I don't know if you're familiar, he's a former World Tour pro. So he got up the mountain literally hours before I did.
But still, I actually really like it because you make the rest of us feel like we can do it too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
I think everybody can. I think there is a lot in cycling. It can tend to be very, it can feel exclusionary, and it can feel like you have to be at a certain level. But the truth is, like, there's so many different kinds of cycling. Like, bikes are just cool, and you can find the kind of riding that works for you, and it doesn't have to be abusing yourself by riding with people that are way stronger than you. You can also just like go out and enjoy, and it sounds like that's what you're doing, like riding through the redwoods. Sounds incredible.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, and have fun with Diana Ross. That sounds amazing.
I know, yeah, also.
I know, I can't believe it.
That's so cool.
I was like, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely let you guys see what I can put together as a video for it.
Yeah,
awesome. Thanks again, Marianne.
Take care.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see who else we have.
Hi, this is Maddie. I just wanted to say hello to Mitch and Val. And I wanted to know, how was your trip to Hawaii? How was the ride? And how was the hospital visit? Bye.
Maddie's a friend of yours.
Maddie's my friend.
She knows all about.
She's aware.
She's aware. Let's call Maddie back. Did you tell her about the hospital visit?
Yeah, and I think you posted it.
Hello.
Hey, Maddie, stranger. This is Mitch from How to Drop Your Friends, and I'm here with Val, another stranger. You asked about our trip to Hawaii and a hospital visit. We're calling you back to give you more info.
Maddie.
I was not expecting a call.
Oh, Val didn't warn you. That's what happens. Yeah.
I didn't tell you.
We call back.
No, it's okay. No, I love surprises. It's exactly what I need right now.
Love. So Hawaii was fun.
Yeah.
Mitch's arm blew up. Did I tell you, or did you see it on Instagram?
I saw it and then I asked you about it because I needed updates about Hawaii. And like, let me tell you, Mitch, it was looking quite thick. Okay, what's going on there?
Did she send you the uncensored video?
No, I forgot to ask her.
No,
that, so
you do not want to see the. Well,
no, I'll send it to you. Don't worry.
I insist.
Disgusting.
Is it better now?
No, it's healing. It's healing. So
but here's the thing. To preface everything, I was in Chile with Maddie the week before Hawaii, and I was showing all you guys pictures of his bite, and then thinking like, oh, it's like getting better, and then we went to Hawaii, and then that happened.
Yeah. So
it exploded.
I got this spider bite during the LA fires. I was cleaning out our balcony because I didn't know if we are gonna have to evacuate. We were very lucky we didn't, and we weren't affected. So a spider bite in the big scheme of things is not a big issue, but it's what's been bugging me. I cleaned out this birdhouse, and all these spiders poured out of the birdhouse, which was terrifying. Ew. So I kind of dropped the birdhouse, and somehow one of them must have got me. I didn't feel it when it happened. And then over the course of a week or so, the bite just got bigger and grosser. And then I was on 2 rounds of antibiotics. Thought it was getting better. Val came back from shooting in Chile with you. We went to Hawaii. And then I decided it'll be really good to raise my heart rate for 5 hours as I ride up a volcano. What's the worst that can happen? My arm just started it was vibrating the whole ride. It was really bizarre. And then we came back and I took off the bandage. And I will play the sound effect of everybody when they saw me taking off the bandage right here. It burst.
That's bad. But Maddie, I'm going to send it to you right now. So you can watch it in your own.
Oh, that's a good idea. Get a live reaction. I go through triage. The head nurse looks at it. She pulls the doctor over. He looks at it. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to have to take care of this. Who's the doctor on call? And the head nurse looks at him and is like, you are. And it's like, okay.
We're like, oh no, this guy does not want to do this.
Yeah, but he was actually really, really great. Long story short, he cut a hole in my forearm the size of a quarter and about 2 centimeters deep. Just basically scooped all of the bad stuff out. A couple days later, he had called in to check on me, which was really surprising to have an ER doctor call in to check on me. And I thought, this is very sweet. This is, people in Hawaii are very nice. And then Phil, my buddy who was there with us, he's like, maybe it's more serious than you realized. And that's why I called back.
So, Maddie, check out the video. The suspense.
That looks so bad. Oh my God. That is so bad. This is so much better than Dr. Pimplehopper.
This is what I'm telling you. This is all I wanted.
I can license it. Well, you love that stuff, Val. She loves.
This is all I wanted. Oh, Maddie knows.
Yeah,
we talked about
I don't know what it is about pimping popples or popping pimples. But so we're at the hospital, and then he cleans it out, and then he grabs scissors and a scalpel to dig out all of the rotten flesh out of my arm. And Val's wants to see, and I'm like, you should probably sit down. She takes one peek and then whoop, almost faints.
I was like, oh no, God. I can't watch this.
So why what is it about the oozing disgusting stuff that's okay, but then if you see a little blood, that's too much?
Because it's more serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Losing
Well,
is
I mean, I
easy.
would have still watched it. I still would have watched it because, like, the human body is absolutely fascinating and disgusting at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also like they're cutting like your flesh.
It was
Yeah.
a weird sensation. I was like, oh, that's what the inside of my arm looks
It
like.
did look like he was cutting a piece of chicken. Like he's just like chop, chop, chop. And we were like, ooh.
He was going at it, which was good. You have to get all of the infection
Yeah.
out. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you know.
It was,
That is so gross. I
So-
mean, it's pretty gnarly, but pretty gross.
Yeah.
Are you better now? Like, is it looking
Yeah.
better now?
Yeah, it's starting to heal. So listeners, if you ever get bit by a spider, this is what to look out for. I guess if you get streaks from the bite site, that's a sign that the venom is
moving along. your
moving
body.
along up. So he was really worried about that. My arm was
Oh my God.
super swollen for about 3 days afterwards. But now it's almost back to normal. And the
But
hole
all
in
in
my arm is about the size of a penny now. All because of a little spider.
Monster.
What
All little spider. I wonder what kind of spider it was. That's like the
Yeah.
question there too.
It looked like a hobo spider, but based on the bite, I think it was a brown recluse. And then we've talked to a couple
yeah.
people that have had brown recluse bites, and they corroborated that theory. Said, yeah, it looks very, very similar.
Yeah.
So,
But all in all, Hawaii was fun.
yeah, back to Hawaii.
Aside from that,
Such a great time.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it was fun to go up the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
I went snorkeling. That was scary.
I'm so proud of you, Val.
Thank you,
That is out of your
Maddie.
comfort zone.
Big
I love
time.
that for you.
So I only went in for like 15 minutes, but as soon as I saw a giant fish, I was like, oh no, I don't like this.
The whole point of snorkeling.
I'm out of here.
She was brave. She had to do it alone. I wasn't allowed to go in the water anymore.
Right. That was the other thing.
So she had to go alone. We didn't go with a tour group or anything. You just like dove. Well, dive is generous.
I raw dogged snorkeling.
You didn't raw dog snorkeling.
and it was hard. And I was like, forget it. I can't do it.
Yeah, so
I
now we need
love
to go
that.
back.
Spider
miss you.
bites,
Spider
raw
bites.
dogging. I miss you too.
Have you been
Let
to
me complete
Hawaii,
my
Maddie?
sentence. No, it's on my list of places to go. I've been everywhere else except Hawaii.
So we'll go with you when you go.
I'm going to just third wheel this whole experience.
Please.
with you
Oh,
guys
and
just
also,
go.
I'm going to start getting into biking again. So if you want to join me, I need a friend.
Okay, but I'm so clumsy. I'm afraid I'm just going to hit a rock and then just like fall.
You won't. We'll practice. We'll put training wheels on your bike.
But the training wheel,
I'm
that's a
gonna
hard sell.
I'm just going to like bubble wrap myself.
Do
and
you
then
have a
just,
bike?
like, no, but I will get a bike if you're going to start riding again.
Yeah.
We'll do that together.
Let's go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm ready.
You guys hold me accountable. I'm going to need it.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
Well, we got it. We're going to end the call there. We got a commitment. Thanks for calling in, Maddie.
Love you.
See ya.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. You got a riding buddy.
I have a riding buddy. And then I have Emily too. I'm going to bug her.
Okay, yeah.
She'll be much faster than me, but
Emily's very fast.
Yeah.
She's very strong.
I could see that.
Yeah, well, she's Phil's wife, so
Makes sense.
yeah. What do you or since we're talking about like new bikes, first bikes, what was your earliest memory on any bike?
Oh, I actually think I got this scar.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's like a whole conspiracy theory because I think
About your scar?
I remember being on a bike. My dad was like teaching me, and then I like fell over like this into a mailbox.
I love that you leaned into the mic for a mailbox.
like this. And then so I think this is from that. My parents say that this is chicken pox.
Okay.
We don't know.
You don't have any other chickenpox scars though.
I do, but they're not like big. Like this
Yeah.
is like big. So anyway,
Oh, the Navarro family conspiracy.
Yeah.
Chickenpox or a mailbox to the face.
on a bike. My dad did teach me how to bike. I remember in my little cul-de-sac as a kid. Kind of the same thing you did with your sisters, where you were like pushing them off and then like off they went. So hard to get going at first and then it was fine.
Did you guys ride a lot? I know your dad rode his bike a lot.
Not like you guys.
Yeah.
No. There's nowhere in Miami to ride, really. We had like one golf course that was like sort of safe that had a bike lane, but there's still like cars going everywhere. So I think for kids, it's not like great
Yeah,
riding.
it's tough. You don't want to be going up and down Chrome Avenue with your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
riding a bike.
So I didn't do a ton as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family was kind of obsessed with it. I haven't really talked about that on the channel. I always just say like, oh, I got a bike during COVID. The truth is like, I'm a fraud. I've been riding my whole life, but not. We got little like Specialized Hard Rocks one year for Christmas. We lived in Minnesota at the time. It was literally like 20 below Fahrenheit, like below zero. And I bundled myself up like the kid from A Christmas Story and went riding with my dad. And of course, there's ice everywhere, slipping and falling. And I was like, oh, I don't want to ride for a bit.
Yeah.
But we would go, like, our little family activities on Saturdays is we would go on like a, quote, big bike ride. That I think looking back, that bike ride was maybe like 3 miles. So we were like, oh, here we go. And it's also like, it was pretty flat.
Yeah.
And my dad got in a lot of trouble one time because we had one of those trailers like the Burleys. You know this story, but I'm just going to tell it for the podcast listeners. My dad would pull this Burley behind him with 2 of my sisters in it. My sister Jessica, who must have been like 3 or 4 years old, maybe a little older. And then my sister Marissa, who was a newborn. And so Jessica would be in, there was 2 portions to this trailer, the Burley. The front was the seat, and that's what it was meant to be, a seat. You would sit, there's a seat belt. And then in the back, there was almost like a little trunk. And my dad would swaddle Marissa up like a burrito, put some pillows in this trunk, and then put her in. I think we're past the statute of limitations. I think my dad's going to be okay if I tell this story.
She survived. She's fine.
Which is fine when we're riding on like a sidewalk or a bike path. But next to our house in Minnesota at the time, Minnesota's full of woods and lakes. And there was a little like dirt trail that a bunch of local riders had dug through this. And there was a natural half pipe halfway through this dirt trail. I am like 7 years old at this time. And my dad's like, let's go drop in on the half pipe. And I'm like, woo. And I would just drop in on my little thing. And then he has the Burley. So he's on his bike. Plus this trailer, and he drops in on this thing, and I just hear from behind my mom yelling, Michael!
I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Classic
Anyways,
your dad.
and that wasn't the only, like, traumatic injury potential that Marissa experienced, but that's for a whole nother podcast. It's amazing. It explains a lot of her personality, I think.
Well, speaking of your dad, didn't he?
He did call in. That's a good segue. Wow. Very good segue. Let's talk to the man himself.
Hi, this is Mike, just a random citizen. This is kind of more of a relationship question than a biking question. I'm just curious how Val feels when Mitch goes riding off to places like, or names like the Death Road or the Loneliest Road. As Mitch's companion, just curious how that makes her feel.
Wow, what a thoughtful question. See, he thought he was going to roast me. He doesn't even know what's coming up.
Hello.
Hi, Mom. This is Mitch from How to Drop Your Friends podcast. I'm here with my wife, Val.
Hi, Cindy.
We're calling you and random citizen Dad back for your calls. Is Dad there? We just listened to his message. We were going to call him back, but he didn't answer his phone.
Oh, well, he's right here with me.
Okay, this is perfect. So, Dad, you called asking about how Val feels about my rides in places like the Death Road, the Loneliest Road in America. But right before calling you, we talked about some dangerous rides of your own, specifically with my younger siblings in the back of a trailer. And we want to get Mom's perspective on this. And then we'll let Val dig into my rides. Mom, what was it?
Let me just say, I said I was a random citizen. How did you know it was me? I'm assuming you're referring to Burnsville, Minnesota.
Yes. And the Burley incident of, what would that be, 1992?
Long ago.
Yeah, long ago. What were your thoughts as you first saw Dad and the Burley go over the edge of that half pipe?
First off, I was wondering if Dad was going to survive the night. I I wondered if kids were going to survive the half pipe.
Were those two related? If the kids did not survive the half pipe, was that?
There would have been consequences, yes.
And I had no idea. It was just a simple bike ride with kids.
You were just trying to let the kids have a good time.
They were
they were laughing at you. The thing is Dad rode his bike with the Burley like the bike did not have the Burley. So he took turns and went on things that you would do if you were out for an adventurous ride.
Dad was doing YOLO before YOLO was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you all were buckled in. It was fine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
My dad yeeted my sisters into the half pipe.
Tell us. What does it mean?
You don't know what yeet is?
No.
Oh, drop in the comments on YouTube or Spotify to teach Val what it means to yeet something.
Your parents don't know, probably.
It's just like to like aggressively launch something. It's to yeet.
Okay. Got it. Copy.
Yes.
How did you ever let us get on bikes again after that?
Me?
Yeah.
I couldn't stop you guys. You all loved it and had so much fun. But
That's cute.
It always terrified me. To this day, seeing how you guys ride bikes terrified me. When I hear about some of your long trips, I mean, like Death Road and the loneliest road, I was so glad to be with Val in the car as we followed you, because it was just very stressful for me to know that you were out there all by yourself.
Yeah, that loneliest road ride, I probably bit off a bit more than I should have at that time. I'd only been riding maybe like riding road bikes maybe a year and a half or so. And I'd been watching this other YouTuber, Vegan Cyclist, or I think he's VC Adventures now. He does these like long epic rides through the night. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Wow. But I didn't think about support vehicle or anything. And yeah, you were with Val for the first like half of the ride, which was really good. And you guys had to turn around and go home. I think to pick up Jessica or Jared or something like that.
Yes.
And
but it was so stressful to know that you were out there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to ride through the night. What were you thinking when I was doing it?
I just have like mini heart attacks every time you sign up for this kind of a thing. And I try to like be like your guilty conscience. And I'm like, no, like you can't do that. Like, what if something happens? And I'm just like trying to, make you think a little bit more about how it would be if something bad happened to you.
So basically, I am my father's son.
Yes.
There's no stopping me.
Yeah. All I can do is be like, be careful.
What's the ride I've done that's made you the most nervous?
Maybe that one.
The loneliest road.
Yeah, because we were in Nevada. The road was not lonely. It was like full of cars, kind of like
and
beeping.
There was no place for you to ride except on the road.
Yeah, that was, and I didn't do it.
Shoulder.
I should have had it like a proper support vehicle where like you were right behind me with like your blinkers on, which is what, normal smart people do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, it's the loneliest road in America. I got to ride alone. So even though we were meeting up at random points, for the majority of the ride, I'm by myself and you're like hundreds of miles away.
Yeah. Oh, also the sun was like intense and you got like this crazy burn.
Oh yeah, I got like a second-degree burn on my leg. It was the one spot I didn't put sunscreen, just right above my sock. Or my sock must have rolled down a little bit.
Yeah. You also lost your wallet.
I lost my wallet.
Like
my credit card, my keys, my driver's license, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then that video didn't even perform that well.
Yeah. So he puts me through this and then, we hope for the best.
After that, most of those like big rides have been with groups of other people. I think that wasn't deliberate, but I must have learned my lesson somewhere deep down.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, I got to go with somebody else. going forward. So.
Well, good. Lesson 1 learned. Lesson 2, wrap you in bubble wrap from head to toe.
We were literally just talking with a friend. Val's trying to convince her to start writing with her, and she's like, I'll do it, and I'll wrap myself in bubble wrap.
Whatever you have to do.
That's it. That's the product. I've been trying, so for the viewers and listeners, I've been trying to come up with a product that would work. Advertising is like one piece of the pie that you can kind of use to make a living. And I don't want to rely purely on advertising. And so I'm kind of looking for a product. Maybe it's bubble wrap.
Maybe it's bubble wrap.
And then I'll get approved by my mom. Stamped on it.
Mom
Stamp of
approved.
approval.
Love.
Dad, how are you doing healing from your latest crash on the bike?
I'm doing a lot better. Thanks for asking. What has it been? 3 weeks now I've been lifting weights. So mobility in the left arm like the right one. So I can almost get my hands over my head about the same height, left and right. So it's doing good.
Yeah, without any context, this is really further proving the point of my mom wanting to wrap us all in bubble wrap. Are you thinking about going back out? Are you going to, if I come up with a bubble wrap product, maybe we can do that?
No, here's the thing. I mean, I was doing about 18 miles an hour, and I think I blacked out.
Yeah, that's
and
scary.
I hit dirt. And I've hit, as you know, I've hit asphalt, I've hit rocks. You've seen me hit a rock with a helmet on. And I had nothing happen, so I don't know why I got so mangled. I mean, I fractured my shoulder, fractured 7 ribs, and had internal bleeding, and I have no idea why that happened. So, yeah, insight sounds really good right now until I find out what happened. I was talking to a friend of mine just a couple of days ago, and he was in a horrendous car accident. It took him 5 years to recover. He was in a convertible. He got rolled off the road by this crazy driver. He remembers it all. Half of his right side of his face was hanging down. Not to be really gruesome. He had a stomach tear where his bowels were trying to come out. And the first person to respond was a nurse. The second was a doctor. And they sat him up and held him tight so he wouldn't bleed out. They didn't even turn on the ambulance sirens when they took him off because they knew he was going to die. He survived. Wow. And I asked him, how much of that do you remember? And he said, I remember everything. And I'm going to myself, I wish I remembered anything.
Yeah.
So until I remember something, I'm not going to get on the bike again because I don't have any defense for it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, it may be all those years of what you started out asking us and me going, teach them a lesson.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think the conspiracy theory, we were talking, Val has a conspiracy theory from her writing. She thinks she hit a mailbox. Her parents say it's chicken pox.
It's just a scar.
I think the conspiracy theory is this accident. Mom deliberately and precisely injured you just enough to prevent you from ever riding a bike again.
Let him survive, but...
Oh, man.
Now do it to Mitch.
You guys see what I'm dealing with here? This is the real danger of riding your bike. I'm going to have to put like a graphic warning on this episode. We talked about my spider bite earlier. We're talking about all of this. Where do you guys think that I should take Val for a ride? She's talked about wanting to start riding again.
Oh, Paris, maybe.
That sounds great. I'll just cycle and then
we'll get a city bike and we'll go around the streets of Paris.
Love it.
Catalina Island would be a good place.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I want to do that, actually. That's a great idea.
That is a really good idea. All right, maybe we'll do Catalina Island. We can take the ferry out. Maybe we'll see some dolphins on the way over there.
That's perfect.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, we're going to end that on a high note before we start having our normal conversations about gruesome things again. Love you guys. Thank you for calling in.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Leave it to me and my family to immediately start talking. And guy's face, like half of the face was drooping down.
That's crazy.
I'm glad he's okay. That's crazy. That accident with my dad did scare me a lot. I'm glad to hear that he's feeling a little bit better. How are you feeling about riding now?
I think I'll never go fast enough to be like worried.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into it for like fastness.
What is it that makes you want to get into cycling?
I just want to be healthier and see like more of California, be outside. I want to get binoculars, which we talked about
We did talk
in
about
Hawaii.
that. Yeah.
Because we saw some cute birds, and it would be really fun to just like take binoculars everywhere I go.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to this movie that we watched too, because it's been my favorite movie lately. It's called The Big Year. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's Owen Wilson, Jack Black, Steve Martin.
And they go birding.
They go birding.
And that might be my new thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like I'm just biking to bird.
Biking to bird. I like that.
Biking to bird.
You and Emily can go. You can make t-shirts and do that.
Yeah, exactly. And spending more time with you, obviously, because you're on your bike a lot.
A lot.
And then we can take the pup.
And speaking of like, I'm gone a lot on a ride. What advice do you have to people who don't cycle, but maybe their partner does cycle a lot?
Ooh. Advice? I don't know if I have any. Oh, well, my advice, I guess, would be make sure you guys have your locations on.
That's a good one.
/ or put an air tag on them, because I just pretty much follow Mitch. If I don't hear from him, I like check the location on our phones, and then I know he's like, okay, like I'll see you moving along. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Have you ever gotten worried when you don't see me moving for a while and then you realize I'm just at a coffee shop for the last like hour?
No, because I know it's a coffee shop. You could see where you are.
You're good.
Like you and Phil were at Subway, and me and Emily were like, why are they at Subway? That's so random.
We had to get more subs.
And then we got it later. She was like, he did say something about that, but we were like, you could see everything. So that
is good advice.
It's very good. It makes me feel better.
What about the advice for the person who does cycle? How can they make their partner's life easier?
Turn your location on.
That's it. You're doubling down. Turn your location on.
Make sure your location's on. Make sure you're checking in if you can. Like,
okay, so here's a hypothetical.
If you stop for water, send a text.
Would you rather, on the weekends, I have one like 6-hour ride on Saturday or Sunday, and then the other day I do nothing? Or would you rather have like 2 shorter like 3-hour rides on Saturday and Sunday? Tell the truth.
Neither.
I knew it.
It's fine. It's like, I don't get to decide your cycling schedule. You're going to do what you're going to do. Like you have a coach.
Yeah.
What it is, which we say all the time. And this is also kind of your job. It would be nice, though, with that being said, that you could participate in some, like, family activities or holidays.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up, because I've been trying to be a little more conscious with it, and I think there are probably a lot of people that ride. It is a hobby that takes up a lot of time, and it's not really fair to the rest of your family if they don't ride.
Yeah.
So you're just like out. I'm in the mountains chasing butterflies or something. I don't know. Just riding, having Subway sandwiches with Phil and having coffee and like watching little birds, and you're not there.
Right.
And then you lose your whole Saturday because I'm
right. You're out. And then it's like, once you have kids, I'm like, I don't know how these people are doing it.
They do like these things called dad hours, which is insane. My buddy Andrick, he like, for a while, it's like I'll look at his Strava and it's 5 a.m. And I like to wake up early, but I like to like make a coffee.
Hang around.
We call it meditate with the dogs, where like I try to keep them quiet while I try to meditate for a bit.
Yeah.
I like my morning routine, but I think that will just have to go out the window, and then probably more indoor cycling because it's more efficient time-wise. Drop in the comments if you've kind of found a way to kind of balance your life. I'm kind of lucky, I guess, because I get weekend. This is my job. I've thought about maybe just putting my weekend rides during the week.
Yeah, like maybe you're 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I would have to like work a little bit on the video editing on the weekend. That's kind of like the hard part, because it's being a content creator takes up a stupid amount of time. It's like a full-time job. And since I'm a perfectionist with my editing, as you know, there are a lot of times where I'm just, you're smiling. You're like, are you ever coming to bed?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm trying to find that like balance. Maybe I do my long rides during the week. I don't know. Ryan, if you're listening, we're going to talk about this.
Ryan, help us.
Once my spider bites healed, because I can't. This is probably, maybe
Maybe
My mom crashed my dad. You gave me the spider bite because I'm not allowed to ride my bike for a bit because I've gone through, this is my 3rd round of antibiotics.
Charlotte.
And the doctor's like, all right, you just need to rest for a while until this is healed up.
Is Charlotte the spider?
Yeah, Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte.
She was a nice spider though.
Well,
it did look, when all the spiders came out of the birdhouse, it looked like that scene at the end of Charlotte's Web after she dies and all of the babies come out of the egg. It's a really sad part of the story.
Like it. I don't like,
It's like
babies coming out of eggs.
That's the only time I've seen like spiders pour out of anything, and I was like, "Aw," because then they come and they talk to her. Did you see this? You've never seen this movie?
No.
We've talked about this movie so many times. Like she dies, all her children come out. The pig, a Wilbur, devastated because his best friend just died, and then the little spiders come out and they're like, "Hi." I forgot exactly what they say, but they're like, "Who are you?" And Wilbur's like, "Oh, I was a friend of your mom's."
Hi.
And then they bite him and he dies.
That doesn't happen. It's a kid's story.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, Val. Look forward to maybe hanging out with you again in the future after this podcast. But before we go, we have to do cycling court. The gavel is right there. I'll take your Topo Chico.
I could do it on the wood.
You can do it on the wood, but you got to use the little gavel thing.
Okay.
So normally during cycling court, we talk about a controversial cycling question that the guest then has to pick just one of 2 things. We've talked about tubeless versus tubed tires. We've talked about carbon versus metal frames for bikes. We've talked about rim brakes versus disc brakes, all things that you are probably like, what's going on?
I have no idea.
You thought we were going to skip over this section, but I've got the hardest question that's ever been on this podcast. Vivian or Remy?
Wow.
These are our dogs.
I could never answer that.
I present to you first, Exhibit A, Remy. Oh, you just hit her.
I bumped her head.
Okay, now they're in front of you. You must choose. One survives, the other doesn't. Welcome to cycling court.
I would never do that.
Vivian or Remy?
No. Next question.
Why are you looking at me like that? He's like, really? Are you really gonna do that?
Yeah, that's evil.
All right, so here's the follow-up question because we'll get a question out of this and answer. It's not fair, is it, buddy, to ask her to get rid of you? I didn't have a follow-up question. The question I was going to ask is like, would you get another dog? Would it be a different breed or would it be another dachshund?
Oh my gosh, a dachshund.
See, I already knew the answer to that.
There's
it's not
no
even
way.
controversial.
There's no way. I do have, what's the word when you're like grumpy about stuff?
I don't know. Me?
Like gripe?
Oh, a gripe. You have a gripe?
Yeah.
Like Larry David. All he's got are grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are my Larry Davids
Okay.
for your job.
Okay.
/
Oh boy. Hold on, buddy. Here we go.
/ this hobby. There's way too much stuff. The amount of stuff that comes into this house for this hobby is bananas. So we have a second room that I don't get to use.
It's true.
Because it's your garage.
Yeah.
The other
Thank you.
The other thing is the laundry.
Yeah.
There's so much laundry. It's always your clothes.
Because, I sweat a lot.
Yeah.
I have to wash my kit every ride.
Yeah.
Because I'm, not disgusting.
That's annoying.
What other gripes? Let them all go out.
I'm trying to think. I mean, the time you're gone.
The time.
Like, it's like Thanksgiving and I'm cooking by myself. Wah.
Yeah.
Those are just some of
That's fair.
the things. What else have I complained about?
Did you hire that bee that stung me on Thanksgiving?
Probably.
Just all these You're a Disney princess sending out all these animals.
No, I'm kidding. I love you and I want you to be safe. And I want you to do laundry, your own laundry. We share.
This makes me sound like a horrible husband. I'm not there on Thanksgiving. I don't do my own laundry.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is exaggerated. We love each other.
No, this is exactly how it is. I deserve
what
that.
I think.
Yeah.
We're sacrificing some of our life for you to have this life.
Yeah.
Hoping
Yeah, this is a big bet.
that we make it
Yeah.
bigger and that we can live in LA with a washing machine in our house because we don't have one.
That's the dream.
In a garage. If we had a washing machine in a garage.
Oh, man. Amazing.
Perfection.
In LA. So why do we live in LA? Because I get this question. Anytime I bring this up, people are like, why do you live in LA?
I guess my job.
Yeah. Val is a very talented food stylist. And at the level she does it, working for commercials, like who you were just with and...
We can't say that.
Oh.
NDA.
I just censored that out, but you definitely know that. I was going to list off like 4 or 5 people that she just worked with that you definitely know, but we can't. NDA. You don't even know the brand. You don't even know if you're my friend on a ride. I may accidentally mention something, but I'm not. Val won't get.
No. But anyway, that's why we're here.
Top secret work.
It's not top secret. Once it comes out, it's fine. But yeah, I guess that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. And I love it.
And you love it. Yeah. And we have cousins here, which is really nice.
We have family here. And all we want is for you to have access to the second bedroom.
That's it. And a garage and a laundry.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Bye. I'm going to do the cool down now. Everybody say bye to Val.
Bye.
Oh, don't jump. Remy almost yeeted off there you go, your new word.
I learned a word.
If you are young enough to actually know what yeet is, and I was wrong, please let me know in the comments. This is the cool down. You can tell it's casual because I've taken the mic off of the stand. I just wanted to explain why this episode was this episode and not the episode with Phil talking about his KOM up Haleakala. Spoiler alert, he did do it. Really looking forward to putting that video together. It should be out end of this month, beginning of next month. The next video for me coming out is the video all about losing weight as a cyclist. A couple tips for that, how I did it, and how it affected my riding. The reason why this episode was with Val instead of Phil is because of my spider bite, which we talked about in the episode. Basically, the doctor just told me to not do anything after he cut out the bite because I had already gone through a couple rounds of things. So we decided it would be better to film a proper episode with Phil breaking down his whole KOM effort afterwards. And the bonus is now his video will be up before we do the podcast, so you'll be able to watch that video and then come over to the podcast and kind of get some more detail on the behind the scenes and everything, which should be really fun. I'd love to stay and hang out right now, but I got to go meet my brand new nephew who was born while we're in Hawaii, and I'm really excited to go meet him. So I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, this is where the catchphrase goes.